It's been a while since any Star Wars movies have been released, hasn't it? The last thing we saw was the 9th episode, and after that, in fact, the era of TV series began. However, Disney and Lucasfilm still want to re-release full-length films based on our beloved universe. Their new plan is one movie and one TV series per year. And in this video, I just want to tell you about all the current news on each planned film, of which there are only 6 at the moment. Of course, I've already talked about each of them in the past, but over the past months, one way or another, something new has appeared on the network, which I want to share with you, just to keep you informed, without water and negativity, okay? You can draw your own conclusions in the comments, it would be interesting. Lucasfilm, after a series of unsuccessful projects, is returning to cinemas with a new film, Mandalorian and Grogu, which is scheduled to be released in May 2026 simultaneously with The Avengers, which may have a bad effect on box office receipts. The film will be a direct continuation of the 3rd season of The Mandalorian and a full-fledged replacement for the 4th season, as well as the last of its kind. That is, after it, Din Djarin and Grogu will appear only as minor characters in other projects. At the recent held D23 event, viewers who bought a VIP ticket were shown a small teaser, which no one managed to secretly film on camera. However, if in words, Din Djarin and Grogu were running away from the Imperial AT-AT steamer and fought with stormtroopers on a snow-covered planet, most likely on Ilum, which is being rebuilt in the Starkiller database from Episode 7. Yes, in case you didn't know, the Starkiller from the sequels is the planet Ilum, the one where the Jedi mined kyber crystals. From what got into the network with the screen, we can only be content with a shot from the base of the New Republic, where Din Djarin was recruited into the ranks of privateers in the 3rd season. That's where the movie starts. Let me remind you, the premiere is scheduled for May 2026 and filming is taking place right now. Also, in April 2025, filming of the 2nd season of Ahsoka will begin, which will become a kind of prologue to the next film from Dave Filoni, which still has no title. This is an Avengers-style project where the heroes of all the latest TV series will gather, from Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew. The main villain will be Grand Admiral Thrawn. The film itself is planned to be very large-scale and expensive in order to make a global splash. In particular, it is planned as the finale of the entire TV series era of times after the 6th episode, and it is rumored that Luke Skywalker will play an important role in it. Very little is known about this film so far, and Lucasfilm has not even started creating it yet, but they plan to release it in 2027. In fact, as I said, their schedule is one film and one TV series per year. The film from Dave Filoni is not just called the finale of the Mandalorian era, because after it, Lucasfilm intend to develop the history of Star Wars further, going as far as sequels, but at the same time, the company is ready to consider the continuation option to get something like a trilogy. Mandalorian and Grogu, a film from Dave Filoni, and some 3rd, final episode, so that a full-fledged trilogy turns out according to the classics. But this is possible only if both films are noted for good box office receipts. And since I mentioned the sequels and everything after them, let's talk about it. If you've watched one of the previous videos, you know that right now Lucasfilm is in the early stages of developing a full-fledged new Star Wars trilogy, the events of which will unfold 10 or 15 years after the 9th episode, with completely new characters, planets, and everything else. There will be old worlds and characters too, but rather as a pleasant addition to the main picture. The company is tired of the endless telling of the story of the fall of the Jedi and the rise of the Galactic Empire, so they really want to create the so-called New Testament of Star Wars, to do something of their own, and for this, right now, they are looking for talented, experienced, and famous directors, screenwriters, producers. Rey Skywalker in the new trilogy will become a mentor in the style of Obi-Wan from New Hope, and Lucasfilm seriously consider her their main asset, since Rey is a character from the Disney era, whose story has not yet been told to the end, unlike Anakin or Luke, so they still want to focus and develop her. She continues to be one of the main characters despite the mixed opinion of fans. Disney and Lucasfilm believe that in the hands of good screenwriters, Rey can open up in a new way. The previously announced film New Jedi Order is likely to be the first in the trilogy. In it, Rey will build a new order guided by the experience of past generations, the experience of Yoda and Obi-Wan, the experience of Luke Skywalker, and even the experience of the Jedi from ancient times. It is still unknown when the premiere of the first film will take place, but most likely not before 2029. So, I mentioned the Ancient Jedi, and this is not for nothing, because another film in development right now is called Dawn of the Jedi, or The First Jedi, directed by James Mangold, who shot Logan and the fifth Indiana Jones. In general, the idea of this film originated long before Disney came to power. In the early 70s, George Lucas considered the saga as a series of 9 films, the first of which he planned to devote to the origin of the Jedi Knights, their initiation and training. He wanted to show exactly how the Force happened and who the first Jedi was. And so, 50 years later, James Mangold plans to implement Lucas's long-standing idea, and in an interview he said so. They say he will develop a new film, Dawn of the Jedi, using George's early concepts. The events of the film will unfold 25,000 years before the first episode. However, it will have nothing to do with the comic book series Dawn of the Jedi of the same name, which was released from 2012 to 2014. James Mangold wants to make an independent movie and have full creative freedom, and everything that happens in this film will later resonate in the new trilogy about Rey and her Jedi Order. The premiere of this unusual episode about ancient times is scheduled for 2028. So far, these are all films whose development has been confirmed, but Lucasfilm is constantly in the process of generating new ideas. For example, they are currently considering options for continuing Obi-Wan as a film and also want to somehow make a Clone Wars movie with real actors. Everything very much depends on the financial situation of the company and the success of the series, so even such a clear schedule can always change dramatically, so don't be surprised if some of this is cancelled. Personally, it seems to me that with a 50% probability, the company will change this very schedule and for sure introduce other projects into it, since the film Mandalorian and Grogu should not have been at all, and they wanted to release the new Jedi Order next year. As they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about Lucasfilm's plans. That's all the plans for the new films. I try to tell you all the most important things clearly and succinctly without negativity. I hope you will appreciate it. Write your opinion in the comments. Which movie are you waiting for more and which one less, and what, in your opinion, the perfect Star Wars movie should look like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if the video was good for you, you can like it purely at will. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon.